We're All Ice Cream is a children's book written by Eric Simmons and illustrated by Martinez Garcias. Hello, I'm Van. Join me and my friends on our journey to the Great Ice Cream Convention.
Mr. and Mrs. Nilla made it home with their new baby boy named Van. Mr. Nilla was very happy and looked forward to teaching his new baby the history of ice cream. Van, older now, was walking through the house looking at all the pictures on the walls. He asked his dad,
Who are all these people?
His dad explained that they are all the ice creams who came before them. They provided a great history for us to pass on to our children. His dad proudly remarked, and one day you will go on a journey to the Great Ice Cream Convention and hear the great cone speak of our history. Baby Van was excited to get started. Years had gone by, and Baby Van's dad had explained many things about their family. Baby Van was no longer a baby. He had grown into a wonderful young ice cream cone. One day, Van's dad called him into his office. Van, you're old enough to make that journey to the Great Ice Cream Convention, his dad said. You must head north into the mountains and across the valley to the Great Ice Cream Convention, his dad remarked. Always remember, his dad said, we're all ice cream. You're just a different flavor. Early the next morning, Van's mom packed him some food for his journey. The sun was barely over the horizon when young Van made his way through their small town. Not far from young Van's home, he met another young cone on the road.
Hello, my name is Barry Straw. I'm on my way to the Great Ice Cream Convention.
Young Van was excited that he would not have to walk alone. Van introduced himself also, and they made their way towards the mountains. While they walked, young Van told Barry about his family history. Barry could tell that they were different by the way Van spoke and his flavor. Although Van and Barry had similar origins, their families came from different places. But that didn't stop them from being friends. Young Van looked at their differences and said,
We're all ice cream. I'm just a different flavor.
Barry smiled from ear to ear as they walked down the road. Barry and Van had just made it to the edge of the forest at the foot of the mountains. Suddenly, Barry was hit with some candy sprinkles. Laughter came from some bushes as young Van helped to pick the candy from Barry's head.
Why did you throw sprinkles at me?
Said Barry sadly.
Because you look better with sprinkles,
said the voices from behind the bushes. Van yelled.
Come out so we can see you.
3 young cones came from behind the bushes laughing.
It's not nice to throw things at people. Why did you do it?
Said Van. One of the cones said,
He looks more like us now, that's why.
Van explained to the young cones that his being different makes him special, just as your having sprinkles makes you special too. He told them,
We're all ice cream. We're just different flavors.
The young cones realized that they were special by being different. Van invited the young cones to join them on their journey. The young cones introduced themselves to Van and Barry. There were Choco, Rainy, and Tashio Sprinkles. As the flavorful group continued on their journey, they took the time to share their family's history. Once again, they found that they had similar origins, but their families came from different places. The joyful group proclaimed,
We're all ice cream, just different flavors.
The happy group continued on their journey, elated that they had made new friends and how similar their backgrounds were. They had just made it through the forest and over the mountains when they saw the valley ahead.
We're almost there,
yelled Van. Looking across the valley, they could see other cones on their way to the Great Ice Cream Convention. As the young cones made it down the mountain, they came face to face with some other ice creams that had funny-looking cones. They were darker cones instead of the lighter cones they were used to seeing. Van asked,
"What kind of cones are you?" "We are of the Sugar Clan. Our families came from across the Great Pond many years ago,"
explained the taller of the cones.
"I am Rocky O'Danner. This is my sister, Cherry O'Danner. The little cone is Butter Pecan O'Danner,"
said Rocky. Also with the O'Danners were two other cones. They were brothers, Red and Randy Sorbet. The Sorbets pronounced their names like sorbet. The way they spoke was so sweet-sounding. Even though all of the cones were different, they all understood that they were still all ice cream. The delicious group made it across the valley towards a huge building. Everyone was gathering inside. As the young cones looked around, they saw that all the cones were different from head to toe. Some cones were single scoop, others were double and triple scoops. There were so many different kinds, it was hard to count them all. As the young cones walked inside, they started to separate and move towards cones of similar looks. Van was sad to see his newly found friends leave. Van walked in and sat down as the lights in the building slowly dimmed. A drum sounded as an elder cone stepped forward and shouted,
"All be seated and hear the words of the great ice cream."
Slowly, a large cone was helped to the enormous stage. As he walked to the center of the stage, Van noticed that there was a part of all of us in him. He looked around the building and started to speak. Proudly, he spoke, telling the crowd of our history. He spoke of the ingredients of life. He spoke of the melting pot that blended us together. He spoke of the elements of our heart. He spoke of the differences that make us special. His final words rang throughout all the crowd.
"We're all ice cream. I'm just a different flavor."
Later, when Van made it back home after the Great Ice Cream Convention, he spoke to his dad.
"Dad, the words didn't really make much sense to me until now. My flavor is not just my color. It's the way I walk, and it's the way I talk. It's everything about me. And we're all ice cream. I'm just a different flavor."
"That's my boy. You found the answer," said Van's dad. Van hugged his dad and started telling him about everyone he met on his journey to the Great Ice Cream Convention.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my first story. Watch for my next sweet adventure, Van Visits the Museum of Ice Cream History. It's coming very soon.